I had another show planned for October, and once I saw how important it would be to do something more, I came up with the idea for this work of the Vote Obama, which is off of the original Vote McGovern, which Andy Warhol did in 1972. So I went to my friend John Kaleo, and John spent many, many hours going through a lot of portraits of George Bush, and he pieced together this, which is not really a photo, it's really a composite photo. And then we were very fortunate, we went to Jeff Wasserman, who at the time in 1972 worked for Gemini Gel, who did that print, where Jeff Wasserman was the silkscreen artist. And so we were able to get Jeff to do the finishing silkscreen over this. So this was touched by the same hand that made that.
Yeah.
And I believe if Andy was around, he would have been very happy. So the whole show, I was able to pull in some of my favorite artists who have been working with this kind of political satire, if you will, for the last 20, 30 years that I know. One back there on the wall is Robbie Canal, and I did the show for Robbie back in 1986 or 87, his very first show, when he did the Men with No Lips and Women with Teeth poster, which was postered all over LA. But he's somebody that really is a hero of Los Angeles and really a hero of the political scene back in the 80s. Whereas today, you've got our own hero who lives in Los Angeles, who is Shepard Fairey, who came up with this idea for the poster right at the beginning, probably a year ago. And he did an edition of 250, and they sold immediately as an art piece like the rest of his work. And then he took all the profits, he told me the other night, he took all of his profits that he made and he put it into printing an unlimited number of posters. And we're selling them for $30, and all of the money goes to the Obama victory campaign.
You show a lot of political artists, not solely, but
No.
you do show a lot of artists that do work with politics,
I
right?
love urban art, and I love art with content and strong content. And I was very happy early on. I showed Daniel Martinez and Daniel J. Martinez, and we have quite a bit of his pieces represented.
Right,
He
we'll
was
go see those.
at the Whitney in 1993, and he had little tags that they passed out, the museum tags. And the tags, if you read them together, they say, "I can't imagine ever wanting to be white." And you never knew which tag you were going to get at the Whitney, but you would be walking around bumping into people with another part of the sentence.
Right.
So it was a working piece in action.
Who's this guy?
Well, this is an artist who I've always shown. This is Bill Barminski. In September of 2001, our opening show was the gas mask show. And in the middle of the room, we had a bunch of television sets, and they were tuned to soap operas. But of course, 9/11 happened right after the opening. And then from then on, the show became watching all of the zeitgeist of 9/11. Also in the show, I was really happy that I was able to get works by Ron English, who is a performance artist and really an amazing painter. And he came up with the Lincoln Obama piece, which is truly beautiful. And I knew about this, and I really wanted. That's also what sparked me to do the show, even though it came about last minute. And there's the Halliburton Boy. That's a painting by Ron. But what was really incredible, in 1 week, well, about a week and a half, he made this painting, and it arrived here the day before the show. And that's a self-portrait that looks exactly like Ron English. Because he does this as performance. He will go and do civil disobedience.
Do you think artists are all like liberals and Democrats? You can't say all, but generally speaking.
I think people who actually go through a thought process would have to think that there's something wrong with the people that are in power now, the Dick Cheneys and the George Bushes. And they would have to think that there's something really corrupt and the wrong direction for America to be going. So I believe that most artists and most people who have the time to care about art and have the time to look at things other than the xenophobic aspects of life would be open enough to realize that things are not right and we must have change. So, I mean, these are just basic things. It's not brain surgery. And for me, though, I have offended a lot of people by doing this show. I've had two collectors basically almost say they'll never buy from me again because of this. So, I mean, the fact that I grew up in the 60s and 70s and was really part of that, and now you see it all over again. There should be more shows like this. There should be more art like this.
Just something that we just can't avoid talking about is the current economy crisis that we're about to enter, a depression or whatever. And I was wondering if you feel like the art world's going to crumble also.
At times like this, when everything looks so bleak and dark, as long as you're still alive and as long as you're still thinking, something new will pop up. And though a lot of people are suffering, that's the really sad aspect of this. As far as the art world goes, I think you're going to see a renaissance of creativity and good art. And I think people that support the art world will continue. And I don't think it's going to die. I've been through it now because I've been a dealer in LA for 30 years. I've seen it all come and go. And you know what? You just keep doing what you're doing. You keep writing, you keep publishing. Artists keep making art, and we'll go through an up and down slide.
Right.
But you've got to remember that even though we're feeling the pain of what is happening, there are very wealthy people on the top, billionaires, a lot of them, who are protecting themselves, who can still play and dabble. And these people want to be the movers and shakers, and they're able to play with that market. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next few months. It'll be interesting to see the next series of auctions that are coming up, and if prices hold. I mean, nobody thought that the art market would hold up as well as it has so far. The reality is that there'll be new artists who will be just as interesting, because there's always new, fresh blood.